Hey, hello everybody. Hope y'all can hear me okay tonight, this morning, or wherever you guys are at that's watching me. Hope someone can give me a voice check. My voice sounds okay. I mean, as in sounds clear. I'm going to assume it does. What's going on, J Money? Yeah, welcome everybody to IP's short little live video that we're going to do. I think we got some good topics we're going to cover. We're going to go over some particular figures in the YouTube world. I think they're a little bit more well known. We're going to give our points, give ourselves some time for reflection. And I've got another article here too that I think people will be interested in reading. We'll go over it a little bit. It is from CNN, but it is what it is. If y'all are watching right now, please make sure to give the channel a like. Tell your friends. I might drop the link if someone wants to join also. But yeah, let's get down to business. I was really debating on either going over the article first or just watching a couple of videos. And I think we're going to go straight for the article. And this article is about the Native American population and how it was able to, get up to about 30% raise, which is crazy, I think, to the, not just the author, but to the readers as well. Let me see, what was it? I guess in 2010, it was 5.2 million, and now is currently up to 9.7 million, which is crazy, right? Hey, y'all, if you just give me maybe like 10 seconds, there's just a really weird advertisement that's like covering half the article. I'm trying to get rid of it. So if y'all just like sit back, and I'm going to take care of this real quick. What is this? Okay. I think we're good now. Turn this music down. But yeah, guys, hope y'all have been well. It's already Wednesday. Surprisingly, it's Thursday in some places. I think in terms of like progress for Native people, at least those in the reconnecting zone, tribalized. Sometimes I think some people might go through sometimes of difficulty, whether if that's like through family, or just friends not doing so well or things of that nature. Just know that I'm always here to listen. If you got something to share, happy to have you on the live, because I know we all go through tough times, especially now. But yeah, that being said, let's go ahead and share that little article that I was discussing here. Here we go. Now, this article's titled, why the jump in the Native American population may be one of the hardest to explain. And let's see here. As we can see in this picture, I think Selena writes, horse, right? Speaks with Gerald. Yeah. The drive through, just helping someone participate in the 2020 census. So I'll go over this article. I was actually going to make a separate video for this, but I think that it's, I can cover it in here. So anyway, the Native American population grew to its largest size in generations after a year of fighting for an accurate census tally. The jump was surprising, experts and advocates say, and much more complicated than the result of successful outreach campaigns. Let's see. In 2020, the number of people who identified as Native American and Alaskan Native alone and in combination with another race was 9.7 million, up to 5.2 million in 2010. They now account for 2.9 million of all people living in the United States, according to the Census Bureau. The group was not exempt to the unprecedented growth of multiracial Americans across the country. In the past decade, they had a 160% increase that experts believe was driven by myriad factors, including more mixed families, the struggle that Latinos face during racial self-identification, and Americans wanting to embrace their heritage, even if they are not recognized as tribal members. So I see some like good and also maybe not so great things about that. Obviously, the struggle that Latinos face. I think a lot of so-called Latinos go through this struggle of like who they are, um, especially those are adopted too. And I think with the social media, TikTok, Instagram, and a lot of other channels that are advocating for identifying with your roots and where you come from, you'll start to see this change more. Now, of course, that goes without saying. Native American populations in with communities, that could easily explain too why the population is growing because more people are having kids in those communities. But I think this also is another factor as well, as it clearly shows here in the article. So yeah, some pretty interesting stuff. The numbers really do reflect the diversity that we're seeing today in the real world and in Indian country. So we're very pleased with it, said. I guess it's pronounced. Yeah, Yvette. I don't know how to pronounce the last name. A member of the Rosebud Sioux tribe, a director. So as we can see, even with the previous paragraph of Latinos wanting to identify with their native side, there's clear openness and a welcoming vibe for people such as ourselves, or those that are watching, I should say, to want to be able to reconnect with their indigenous roots. Oh, and I meant to add, obviously, the negative part of this paragraph here is Americans wanting to embrace their heritage, even though they are not recognized as tribal members. I think it's important to be careful as far as like who actually is like native. Like if you have a very far distant ancestor, maybe from like 200 years ago, this is just my personal opinion. If you're not a part of a tribe, and again, you have that just lone ancestor just hanging out, I don't think I would identify as native. I mean, ultimately, it's not my decision, but to say who can and can't be, but I don't know. I'll get more into that in the video that I'll share. I think will explain my points in more detail. So yeah, I think that was really good to see from this article because we see that the Native American population is in fact growing, despite COVID, despite the issues from governments and many other problems in terms of like land, and it could go on. So yeah, it is interesting. The article goes into like talking about race and ethnicity across the nation, talking about how the U.S. is becoming a very diverse place. I thought there was one more piece in this article that talked about people from Central and South America. I think it was right here. Okay, good. This is Latinos are nearly 30% of the total native population. It's crazy, right? Like even through all of the naysayers and people that criticize, myself and others, it shows here that we make up 30% of this native population. So it's nice to see, despite, as I said, the critics out there. I'll read this for us. When wind calm, filled out her census from last year, she checked the box for Native American and the box for Latino. The 27-year-old is from Todos Santos, Cucumatan, a small village in the western highlands of Guatemala, where most residents are indigenous. We are not white. We are not black. This is the closest I can get, said Calm, who lives in Oakland, California. I put Native American because we are indigenous from the Americas, but a lot of people still think or still have a lot of confusion as to what to choose. Calm is among the 2.9 million people in 2020 who said that they were American Indian and Alaskan Native, either alone and in combination with another race, and who also noted their ethnicity as Hispanic or Latino, according to the Census Bureau. That number grew about 150% in the past decade. That's crazy, and makes nearly 31% of the American Indian and Alaska Native population. See, and I think it really is a good, I wouldn't say good portion, but at least a contributing portion is people such as myself and others that have promoted the fact that it's okay to connect with who you are, an identity that has been suppressed for centuries. The Office of Management and Budget, OMB, the agency that dictates the standards for collecting data of race and ethnicity in the U.S., defines American Indian or Alaska Native as a person having origins in any of the original peoples of North and South America. That's a lot of people, including Central America, and who maintains tribal affiliation or community attachment. Here we have a picture. Think of a woman going over a health project in Oakland, and these are members of the Mayam community, which again originated from Guatemala. When Calm and her family immigrated to Oakland more than 2 decades ago, almost no one spoke Mam, the Mayan language native to Guatemala that they primarily spoke. In recent years, they noticed more people walking in traditional clothing, seen many Guatemalan shops and restaurants opening in the city's Fruitvale neighborhood, and churches offering services in Mam, Calm says. It's become very obvious. It's like a little Maya town. So it's really cool to see, these communities in really big cities in Oakland and in thriving, of course. Gabriel Galicia, executive director at the Street Level Health Project, a center that works with recently arrived immigrants and other undeserved groups, says that the majority of day laborers in Oakland have shifted from being Mexican to Guatemalan in the past decade. And the primary language is Mam. Yeah, and this is something that I noticed too, which is quite interesting, is that if you go and look at the border, the border issues, and you see a lot of people crossing. A lot of them are now from Guatemala or Honduras or El Salvador, and have replaced a lot of those that came from Mexico over time. The center, which currently employs 5 people from the Mayam County, is working with public health officials to highlight the need to collect data. Galicia says that some estimates indicate that there's several thousand people who are Mam living in the city, but there isn't an official tally. So yeah, this is some interesting information. Unless we want to get into the mixed race identity, I think I basically covered the highlight of this, and maybe I'll make another video covering this in total. So yeah, what do you guys think? It was pretty interesting, right? What's going on, Amp? Ralph? We got like 16 people in the building. What's going on, people? See Daniel Valencia's in the chat, but I don't see him in here. Kind of strange. Anyway, what's going on, Jub? So yeah, that was the article I wanted to cover for you guys, and I think that shows the progress that we have had. Those of us that have promoted this, at least for me, the past year. Even if it is small, it's still a contribution, and I look forward to seeing more progress. Yeah, I look forward to seeing a lot more progress in the future. So yeah, there's a few videos that I wanted to go over today, and it is kind of a continuation of what happened with our last live, but they are really important issues and problematic in their own ways. So I think the first one that I wanted to go over is, we will wrap up with, where is he at? Dane Calloway. And, Dane is a very odd human being. I'll add that, saying it nicely. He's promoted a lot of pseudoscience that contributes to native erasure. And again, like, the only people that I saw talking about it were AIDL, honestly, and they're gone, unfortunately. You really don't see too many other native people. You don't see many of the TikTok influencers talk about it. And you see a couple, but not particularly of Dane. Yeah, that is pretty cool. Yeah, that there are a lot of Mayans in Oakland. So yeah, we're gonna watch this video, and I'm gonna give my points and critique, because it needs to be critiqued, because a lot of what he says is inaccurate. So unless you have any other questions, we're gonna start. Let me see here. Here it is. Okay. So yeah, this is Dane Calloway's channel. As you can see, he has almost 500,000 subscribers. I think I brought this up earlier. And I never really showed any of his videos before, but I think it's important to just show just how problematic his videos are, and just the propaganda that he spreads, that unfortunately his fans just eat up like chocolate. So we'll go ahead and play. I think it's important to just watch all of this. It's like 3 minutes long. There's like 2 million people that see this stuff. So yeah, we'll start.
Waters, Malcolm X revealed some very vital, unconventional details on what Negroes, or rather African Americans, were truly considered to be as a nationality of race prior to being called or labeled a Negro.
Aborigine, which means what? Black folks. But you never find a white aborigine. Aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines, but you don't make them be called an aborigine.
Malcolm X stated that
I want to add the Malcolm X is explaining is that I think when he's referring to Aboriginal people, he's referring to those from other parts of the Pacific area, the Solomon Islands, Papua New Guinea, and I think New Caledonia. If you look at people there, and I'll show some pictures later, they look somewhat African. Now, would they say that they're African? I've read one news article where one did not see themselves as African whatsoever, even their appearance. But yeah, again, let's get back to the video.
The rock landed on us after he returned across the waters because he learned new things. He learned that the rock had truly landed on us and that we were from these lands. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. also stated in his I Have a Dream speech that we are held in exile in our own homeland.
The Negro is still languished in the corners of American society and finds himself in exile in his own land.
Now, we have a lot of scholars out there, and individuals are missing the point. How can you be?
I don't think I added this. This guy pretty much pushes the whole, we people, native people, are pretty much not the original native people of the Americas and the Africans are. That is what he supports, and that's what he pushes in all of his videos. Just wanted to make that clear.
Be held in exile in your own homeland without it being your own homeland. The tens of millions of Black Americans, or rather Indians, who disappeared in 1492 did not all die in the Holocaust inflicted within America. Hundreds of thousands were shipped to Europe and Africa as Indian slaves. The whole slave trade story was given to all of us in reverse. A mass colony of Africans were not shipped from.
So let's find his facts. Usually when you make these sort of outlandish statements, you should provide something to back it up. Oh, look at that. He blocked his comments. So now we can't ask him. How about this? Help support my channel. Donate to me. Check out my website. Oh, look at that. No sources. Oh, but he does have this nice content warning. Let's see here. Any authorized use, productions of my propaganda and fake information, our legal team will pursue all legal actions against you. Oh, that's nice. So you heard him. Don't copy his fake crap or else he'll get angry. Let's start back up.
Africa to America. The truth is that Black Indians were shipped from America to Europe. They were then shipped from Spain to Africa as commodity for African resources. These Black Indians, now mistaken as African Americans, were shipped back to America and classified as African slaves. This part of our history is what the school systems fail to mention in history programs. The American society.
Notice as he has this very ominous music that plays as well. I mean, obviously we know that it's not just him that's running the show. There's others that work with him too in this animation. Just all the transitions and everything. I would assume it's his significant other. Maybe that's helping in this. But just, yeah, it's funny to see how he puts this all together to make it look very attractive. And he definitely speaks better than the foul-mouthed individual of another channel. But regardless of that, this is all still, again, propaganda. Fake.
Was an organization formed in 1816 with the purpose of transporting free African Americans, or rather Indian slaves, classified as Negroes back then, from the United States to settle on the west coast of Africa. During the decades, the society operated and transported more than 12,000 people to Africa, and the African nation of Liberia was founded. The term African American to refer to all Black people was endorsed only since 1988, but was against the desires of the majority of Black people. In fact, the term was endorsed by only 5 people, including Reverend Jesse Jackson and Ramona Edlin, leading the charge as a result of a gathering called the African American Summit, without the input of the majority of Black people. Author Avis J. Smith went to the district court in Washington, D.C. to stand against this term, as well as against the notion that a small group of powerful individuals should be able to compel the masses into adopting it. The systematic destruction of the Native Americans, or rather Native Indigenous Aborigine people, and their way of life was not only one of recorded history's greatest tragedies, but as with the slave trade, deeply spiritually wounding to all involved. The utter decimation of their culture is one of the most shameful aspects of history, the extent of the damage still being downplayed and denied entry into textbooks and history lessons to this day.
So, what do you guys think? It's pretty dangerous, right? Again, where is everybody calling this channel out? Like, this guy should not be operating the YouTube channel. It almost gets to a point, you know, I'm very much like for pro-democracy and whatnot, but I think when you have channels like these, they can easily amount to violence in some way or another. So I don't think this channel should operate, but This is my opinion, or should be censored. Yeah, I mean, there is, like, again, there was AIDL. I'm sure there are other channels out there too that called him out, but obviously it's not enough. Like, he's still making videos. Let me see. Hold on. Where'd he go? Here. Again, it's very telling. His comments are turned off. On his most viewed video, I checked. This is his most viewed one. So no one can question him. Let's see here. Is he still making content presently? 23 hours ago, yep. So he's still making content. I don't know why people don't see this as more problematic, but you know, hopefully more people will wake up. Oh yeah, that was Dane Calloway's video. I really wanted to bring that out to light because I didn't really have time to bring that last live. So the other video that I wanted to bring out into the light was I think it was from Joe Rogan. But to be honest, I kind of want to cover the another video, and this is from the Breakfast Club. And this video isn't even so much like any Wabo like conspiracy theory stuff. This is just like information that I think could have been shared differently or just not at all by a particular person I'm going to show. So yeah, and once we watch this part of the video, I'll explain what I mean. Or maybe I'll read some comments real quick. We need to kick those Wabos out of America. Yeah, it'd be nice if they could, I don't know, all pack up and move somewhere else. Preferably to an island in the middle of nowhere. So then you don't have to pick anyone's culture anymore. Or try to. Maybe until he gets 1 million followers. Until then he might stay relevant to YouTube. Yeah. I mean, I've heard some people support what he is saying, like regurgitate the same or similar information. But it's like not too many people. But again, like I said, like 2 million people saw this video and a good amount of people watch his videos. So when it gets to that point, you're going to have those people take that information. What are they going to do? It apply to like real life situations? Like we don't know what type of people that watch this crap and like support it. Like what are they working in certain job fields? Are they teachers? Are they doctors? Are they lawyers? Are they going to bring problems to Native people? Like this is a legit issue. But again, like there are people trying to expose this guy, but it's not enough. But I liked AIDL. Anyway, I won't talk about him too much now. Let's get to what was it, the Breakfast Club? Yeah. Just share again. Yeah, so I don't know if y'all are too familiar with the Breakfast Club. It's a pretty popular YouTube channel. Or they have a little studio or something. I think it's primarily like ran by African Americans. And I've actually watched a couple of their videos. They're pretty cool. And the people that they bring in. But this particular channel and this particular guest, they say something that really rubs me the wrong way. And I think the fact that this woman is on being shown by like what? I'm going to assume a few million people watch this. Oh no? Maybe more. Anyway, I mean, the channel has 5 million subs, but it's still like 388,000 people. What this person basically says is it's okay if you have like some native ancestry, however little that may even be, is what she's implying. It almost seems like she's giving the green light, and I have problems with that. I have issues with that. Well, let's see what she has to say. Work that music. Okay, let's go.
Costumes, what's that party city?
So I have a pretty big problem with this. This is just my personal opinion, and we all are free to disagree with what I'm about to say. But unless you're in a tribe, I keep my opinion off anything in tribes. But outside of tribes, if you're not connected to one, and you're just some like random guy on the street, whether if you're white, black, or Asian, and you just find out you have some far distant ancestor from like a couple hundred years ago, I wouldn't be saying I'm native. I'm sorry. But it gets to a point where it almost seems like you're LARPing. And yeah, if you don't like what I had to say, then it's tough, but it's just my opinion. So let's go back to what she said. Like 89% of people that have, or 89% of African Americans have native DNA. She said to claim, they want to claim it. So are we all like cool with people that have like a few ancestors from far away that they could just claim native? So what does that have to do with what I'm saying? Okay, a lot of people go after like the Cherokee princess thing, right? Where white Americans will say, "Oh, my great ancestor from long ago was a Cherokee or whatever." We're not cool with that, obviously, for either like two reasons. One, they're just saying it to justify some sort of issue, so usually a political issue. And two, that ancestors way far back, and I'm going to assume that people just think that this person isn't in a tribe, so it's irrelevant. So if we're against that, are we also against what this woman's saying? You can just claim native. Yes, like a lot of African Americans do have some native DNA. So do white Americans too. A lot of them do. But in my opinion, it's not a significant amount of like ancestry to where I would say that I'm native. Again, I'm speaking only outside tribes. Inside tribes, it's whatever they run by and what they want. I don't have any opinions on that. It's their own. But yeah, I'll get to the comments here in a few seconds. So yeah, that's my issue. I think it's a fair issue. I mean, has the native identity not been like hunted down for centuries, right? Like some tribes have gone extinct. So are we going to be okay if, I don't know, thousands of people all of a sudden like have this like trace amount of ancestry? Now they're going to like revive a tribe. I don't know. It's kind of confusing. But maybe I'll send the link out, and if anyone wants to talk to me about it, I'm happy to talk with you. We're going to be watching a minute more, and then we'll go on to the final video. Okay. So yeah, I really don't agree with this person's views. I saw the Just YouTube channel, so maybe she'll watch this video and like, I don't know, write me her opinion, or she probably doesn't care. So anyway, back to the business. Check out the comments. At some point it gets to debate of blood quantum. I mean, in some way it does relate to it, as much as people don't like to talk about it. Well, I'll save it for another time. I don't want to get into the weeds of it. Continue to read comments. This is what happens when anti-BQ folk run amok and dictate their ridiculous beliefs in the native spirit. let's show the comment. Sad part is that the native spirit allows and encourages such people to speak with their minds. Yeah, I mean, I understand, like, I want to be accepting, but we can't dictate these really important issues solely with our feelings. Basically, what I said, I stand by. Now, what if the person finds out that he has Lakota DNA or something? I don't know. I mean, the tribe accepts him. That's fine. It's just what I think, and I think what I'm saying is best in respect to preserving the identity. Again, that's based like centuries of extermination. Sorry to repeat myself, but nobody takes the Aboriginal community seriously. They're the Hebrew Israelites. Tell them they are wrong, but it won't change their minds. Yeah, I mean, I brought up, I thought, some good points in my Pretendians and Wabos video, and the channel called Aboriginal TV made a video of that video and another video that I made, like, you know, pretty much disrespecting me, but it's cool, it's whatever. It's actually, it's not cool, but they didn't take any of my points into any consideration whatsoever. They're very stubborn people. Some tribes may have assimilated with other tribes. Yeah, for the most part. You're at least a distant, even claim to reconnect if you didn't grow up in the culture. Distant, yeah, exactly, like a distant one, not one from like 300 years ago, 200. But I don't make the rules. I just critique what I see. Okay. So, the last video. Do you guys like Joe Rogan? So yeah, this will be the last, Mabo series, I think, because we have to move on to more important topics at hand. Things I really want to get into. So essentially, maybe some of you have seen this video. Rogan has this guy on that, like, pretty much spreads the whole, like, Wabo propaganda of, like, hey, I'm native, even though I'm African, we're the original people, yada, yada, yada. And I just think it's important to bring this up because, let me see here. We're here, curious. Yeah, 2 million people saw this video. So it's a lot of people that can believe what this guy is saying. Again, when you listen to this, we don't know who listens to it. It could be really, like, hurtful and dangerous people that don't have the best interest for indigenous communities. Is this Resident Evil music? I don't know. I can change it. This is kind of what I played last time. But let's watch that video. I think we'll wrap things up. You know what? I'll drop the link. If I want to talk for a little bit, happy to. Once this is over. The video, I mean. Okay. Let's find Joe Rogan. There he is. He's a funny looking dude.
Is a studied war general. Today, the Pentagon still studies him. Right. So how are you operating in America as a Black person and not know who Hannibal Barca is?
Well, it's difficult, I think, for people that were born in America and all their known ancestors are from America to even relate. Like, my family is mostly from Italy and Sicily, and some of them from Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
I don't relate at all.
Right.
I visit Italy. In the the
So
summer
then-
times, I don't relate at all.
Right. So then the other psyop is the fact that we were the natives. We were not brought here on slave ships. That's not economically sound.
Very good.
This
What do you
doesn't
mean?
make sense. So when Christopher Columbus got here, Christopher Columbus got to the Caribbean, according to primary source,
Right.
they basically said the first thing he did was take slaves. He didn't bring slaves. He took slaves from the island. He captured people. So when you have colonization, you got to remember, the United States was only built 13 colonies at first, right? You think this whole land was empty? No, there were natives here.
Right.
But today we're taught that natives is some other people. No, natives are the melanated African being that has come here since the beginning of the Mali Empire. We're talking about 14th, 13th century. We had already come here from Africa.
It brings up the Mali Empire, and while my knowledge is pretty limited of the Mali Empire, there's no documentation of any ships from Africa, from the Mali Empire, arrived.
Really?
Oh yeah, we had already come here.
To the United
I
States
just said
or
no.
to the
This
Caribbean?
landmass we call the United States. So the way the ocean current works is it works from Africa, leaves out of West Africa, comes to South America and the Caribbean. That's just how the currents go. You don't need no paddle boat or nothing. It just currents will just take you there, and then you travel up. But we had already been here. All you got to do is look up the story of Sarah Rector. Sarah Rector is a wealthy so-called Native American. I think she was a Choctaw tribe or one of these tribes, but she was wealthy, and she wanted a VI pass to go somewhere, and they had her classified as a free person. Why don't we know about the wealthy so-called Black people in America? Why don't we know that there were Black slave owners in America? Why is that not taught?
I mean, we do know that.
Why is it not taught?
How many Black slave owners were there?
Man, the natives here had slaves. They were trading slaves with the so-called white man.
Well, they definitely did that. Natives
Okay.
enslaved people of other tribes.
Right. So if those people are us, the so-called Black man, if those natives were us, then we have to tell that history and say how we did have territories and we did, carry out commerce, and we weren't slaves. We were slave owners.
Right, but the majority of African Americans that lived here were brought over here.
No, that's not economically sound.
What do you mean by it's not economically sound? Like there were slave ships, right?
All right, let's say you wanted to have you wanted to sell marijuana, right?
Right.
Would you import marijuana or would you grow it here if it's already here?
Well, it depends on whether or not marijuana grew here.
Well, can you grow marijuana here?
You can, but
Okay.
we're just talking about marijuana. Like, what if
So-
we're talking
so-
about something that you can't grow here?
So what I'm saying is people were already here. Does it make sense to go all the way to this other continent to bring people on a boat when we know that half of your stock is going to die? You wouldn't do that.
So how many people do you think were brought over from Africa on slave ships? Because that definitely happened.
I don't believe it.
What do you mean
No.
you don't believe it?
I don't believe that story.
God.
You don't believe that Africans were brought over on slave ships?
Correct. I believe it may have happened, maybe
I mean, look at this guy's eyes. You can tell he's crazy.
people were brought over as slaves, but I don't think that the Black people in America came from Africa on slave ships. I believe the people that were here were slowly conquered. First, they got the East Coast, and then they started spreading out west little by little, conquering. And when you conquer a tribe, what do? You enslave them. They're POWs, right?
Okay.
That's what you do. So after you conquer this tribe, you make them slaves. Now, how do you conquer the natives here? So let's say you got this tribe is warring against this tribe. Well, this tribe goes talk to the white man. White man says, yo, if you help me wipe out these people, then boom, I'll help you with whatever. So they get together and they wipe out this other tribe. Now, guess what? The white man now outnumbers this tribe. So he wipes them out. You just kill two birds with one stone. You just keep moving like that.
But I'm still confused. There's a great history of slave ships being brought over from Africa with Africans that became slaves and worked in the South. Do you think that's lies?
History is his story.
Right.
What about my story? Is my story not valid?
But if you do 23andMe on someone who is from these parts of the country, you'll find out that
23andMe?
Well, that's real.
So
what is 23andMe?
So when I take a 23andMe test, right?
Yes.
What's it going to tell me about Africa?
That's a good question. We should find
It's
out.
probably going to say, oh, you're from Kenya, or you're from Angola, you're from this, right?
Right.
These things, these borders were created by Europe.
In terms, yes,
right.
In terms of like what parts of Africa and how it's distributed and what's a country and what's not a country.
Yeah,
right.
These
by
names,
the Afrikaners and Dutch. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can't classify me based upon a European name.
I understand that, but they're saying geographically, geographic location. You can call it whatever name you want.
Right.
They can tell you where your genetics originated. Like I've got some weird shit in me. I got like 1% Asian. I don't know why it's there. 1.6% African.
Okay.
There's also weird stuff that you find in your DNA that like your ancestors and ancestors.
Right. So let's walk down that. Let's walk down that path. Right. So either way, if you take black people here in America and you do their DNA sample and it point back to Africa, what does that say? It says black people in America are Africans. Now, the argument is, were we brought here or were we already here? Did we bring ourselves here or did the white man bring us here? You see, when you say the white man brought us here, what you're doing is you're removing our ability to transport ourselves. You're saying, oh, we didn't know anything about boats. That's what you're trying to tell me. You're trying to tell me that we didn't know that there was a landmass here. Only the holy white man knew there was land to the west. But
okay, I think I know what the issue is. I think some of these people have some sort of like inferiority complex where they're so mad at the fact that those in Europe were the ones that created these ships to reach the US, the Americas, and no one in Africa did. No one in Asia did. Don't feel bad, man. No one in the Middle East did. The Indians didn't. It is what it is. Like, come on. Like, if it makes you feel better, like guns were created in Asia. So it's not like all these like great like advancements of technology all just only originated in Europe. It's just the fact that no one in Africa created ships to reach here. That's history. It's accurate. So I think I understand now. This person just has some sort of like mental issue and he can't accept the fact that what happened.
When you look at the holy white man, he said, when we got here, we met black people. Go look at the primary source. We got here, we met black people. When we got to the Caribbean, we met black people. You think the Caribbean is right next to America?
Hold on. Did you just say what I said that you shouldn't really talk about? Rewind it.
The holy white man knew there was land to the west. But when you look at the holy white man, he said, when we got here, we met black people.
Okay, yeah, he did. God. Here they go again. These WAPOs really love to push the whole, as I said, like the Europeans finding black people here, and they just immediately connect that to African people without giving any regard to the fact that indigenous native people here can be very dark also. Like, they don't say, oh, like there's people that look like, I don't know where the Spanish went in Africa. I think they went around the west part. So no one here looks like they're from Nigeria, but I don't think the country existed at the time. What I'm trying to say is that there isn't sufficient documentation from European settlers of that time saying that they saw African people with those type of phenotypes and their appearance there in the Americas. They said black people. People in Australia, they also are called black. But if you look at them, they don't really look similar to those in Africa. The Aborigine people there, in my opinion, they do look distinctly different. And I'm sure it's not just Australia. I'm sure there's other countries too. So yeah, this is crazy talk.
Go look at the primary source. You got here, we met black people. When we got to the Caribbean, we met black people.
That's the primary source.
You think the Caribbean is right next to America and they weren't in America?
That's interesting.
doesn't
But
make any sense.
Well,
If you go to
it
South
makes sense.
Oh,
that
he doesn't make
you
sense.
do have people that have traveled, whether it's Polynesians that traveled to Hawaii or people. I mean, there's the Olmecs who
Yes.
are thousands and thousands of years ago in South
Yeah.
America. They have clearly African
Don't
faces.
do it, Joe. Oh,
I mean, really, the noses, the lips. I mean, they look
Dang it.
African.
Right.
And that was a South American culture that existed, and we don't know anything about them other than the fact that they have these gigantic stone sculptures that have African faces.
Well, like again, just go to, if you can pull up the ocean currents. If you
No,
could,
I've seen that.
You've
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
that, man.
Well, you
Bring
know
up the
who
Olmec.
Gordon Hancock is?
I've heard
read-
about him. Yeah.
You read his stuff. It's really
I got
fascinating because he's all about that. He's all about the fact that the idea that human beings were probably living in advanced civilizations far longer than 14,000 years ago. And they
Yeah.
did travel all over the world, and that you do find the remnants of these ancient cultures that we have no explanation for throughout the Amazon,
Yeah.
and throughout different parts of South America and Central America.
I mean, when you go and you look at real European history, right?
Mhm.
You had the Magyars would believe that if they took a bath, it was bad.
Right.
They didn't even want to change their clothes. They thought that dirty was purity. When we talk about the Moors going into Spain and into Europe, the stories in the history, our history, says that when we met the so-called Caucasian, he was sleeping in the barn with the animals. And we told him, no, you can't sleep in the barn with animals. We taught them etiquette. We taught them running water. We brought that technology to Europe. Now, if we brought the technology to Europe that saved Europe from the Black Plague, you mean to tell me that if we saved the white race, that we weren't already in America already? When we brought the technology, when Rome was dependent on Africa for food, remember when the Black Plague?
Okay. I can barely take much more of his insanity. I think Joe Rogan really needs to reconsider who he brings on the show and how many people take this guy seriously, and then whatever insane guests that he has. This guy's nuts. I'll play one more minute.
Black Plague hit Rome. The cause was one of the officials was stealing the grain that was coming from Africa. So there was famine hit Rome. If your source of sustenance is from Africa, how are you superior? You're not. You get your food from me. So if you get your food from me, who's more likely to travel this globe? Me, I'm the source of food. And that's the first thing you need to survive on this planet. So if your whole civilization is dependent on me to supply food, I made it to America first. It's just that you won the war and you got to tell the story.
Is that their only source of food? I mean, it's a source of food that Rome had, right? But Rome is also very close to Africa.
Well, let's
particularly.
talk about that. What kinds of food did they have?
Well, I don't know.
It's very rudimentary. It was a very rudimentary civilization. It wasn't all what is cracked up to be. When you go look at what the Greeks said about Egypt when they go into Egypt, it's like, yo, it's like the New York
Egypt
City
is
of that time.
The ultimate. If you really want to talk about African civilization being advanced, Egypt is the ultimate, because
Right.
Egypt to this day is still unexplained. No one really understands.
Okay. All right. I can't do it anymore. So, yeah. What'd you guys think? Or is guest crazy or what? Yeah, so these are the videos I wanted to share. I think this pretty much wraps up the Wabo series of me exposing these fools. Let's go through some comments. What's going on, Marksman? Yeah, I think animals, dogs and cats that I know probably have a higher IQ than that guy. Yeah, I hear a lot of people that spread like the Afrocentric talking points say that like Egypt was black or something. But as far as what I know, I thought Egyptians were. Brown skin, or not Arab. I'm not sure. I should have a better understanding of Egyptian history. Funny how they always bring up the Olmec statues having African noses and lips, but ignore the Asian eyes, right? Always bring up the statue. And they even, again, they had a memorial or something, a group of African Americans, like, was it? I think it was like to respect African culture, and they had the Olmec statue. But I think that was taken down, thankfully. What is my business email? I have my email in my YouTube bio, so you can get it from there. Thanks. Right? I guess Joe has anybody on. Rogan's only for entertainment, but unfortunately it's a rhetoric that continues to dismiss the real native voice. Yeah, it just seems like entertainment. Like, he knows that the guy's an idiot, but he still has him on. So, it's for the money. No matter how insane the guy sounds, it's the dollar that matters in the end. I want to make animation about Afrocentric people. All right. Let us know what you come up with. He looks like he doesn't even believe himself. Yeah, I don't think he does. I think he's just happy to be on. Some people just do it for fame, no matter how silly they sound. Okay. That comment. He's definitely insecure. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, his eyes are spooky, right? Scary eyes. Oh, you're an animator? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, best of luck. I hope you get their attention. They need to be humbled. Did I see the trailer? Yeah, I think I watched most of it. I mean, that was pretty cool. I think they are trying to present a combination of Aztec, Mayan culture back then. I don't know too much of what's going on. I mean, the trailer looks cool. I hope that they accurately represent indigenous native culture in a way that we assuming it will go. You never know. Some movies kind of derail a little bit. But I thought the first movie was good. Black Panther movie. I think going back to these crazy people, I think it does. They do have an inferiority complex. I think that they are just so, I don't know, upset that no ships maybe arrived in the Americas. I mean, a lot of weapons came from Asia or Europe or the Middle East. There's good things that came from Africa too, but just the way this guy brought up his points, it just made it sound like he was like really mad and envied the fact that Europeans got here. He was like, "What are you saying, that we're incapable?" No one's saying anyone's incapable. It just is how life started. It's how things went. I'm sure there's like a lot of reasons as to why. I mean, could it be religious aspects? Maybe. Could be a lot of like geography too, like location, climate. I mean, if you look at Africa compared to Europe, there's obvious like stark differences in progress in many of the countries. Unfortunately, it just seems that like a lot of countries in Africa are corrupt. always dealing with insurgencies, and you have like Muslim extremists as well. I mean, and that's not to say that Europe has its hands meddling in certain affairs. That's true. But just if you look at both continents, it's clear that I don't know, Europe follows a way of bringing people together to share like an understanding. But of course, like Europe did colonize a lot of the world, and Africa didn't, so they have a lot of resources at their disposal as well. But even before that, again, like they had the ability to build ships and whatnot. Anyway, I don't want to get too much into the weeds. Okay. Well, we're not the first here. Yeah. Have you seen the History Channel about us Indians? Us being the U.S. Or just like us, Native people, or those in communities and tribes. Yeah. You're not saying that, they're not capable of migrating to the Americas, it's just that there isn't any evidence, and there isn't any documented evidence. Yeah, that's true. Me and Juan talked about this a lot. Like, look at Colombia, all these other countries, they're ran by the descendants of, Spanish people, it seems like, and they hold a lot of the economic power. And, it seems that a lot of them only care for themselves. It's just a fact. They don't manage things well. So it's hard to, for a country to do good when your leaders don't care about a lot of the people that are in the country that you manage. But yeah, these channels have an issue. Hey, see a big M. I'm sign off here. Just be careful, guys, of these channels. They really do like to spread a lot of fake information, and I know y'all here are smart people, and would never fall for that stuff. Sometimes I think they really try hard to get you to believe what they're saying. But yeah, again, thanks a lot. If you guys had any questions at all, I'm happy to answer any for now. I'll put on the camera. It's been a while since I showed my face live. Have you seen the History Channel documentaries about Aztecs? It was pretty interesting. I think maybe I have. Did it come out like 4 or 5 years ago? Unless there was a recent one. You know what it is, Ralph. When countries don't value mediocrity, then corruption will be rampant. Yeah, it's true. This is what happens in casta culture. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Colonialism did play a pretty big part in a lot of countries in Africa. But I think that there's a lot of external factors that play into the destabilization of these countries. Let's talk about Africa specifically. It's corruption. I think religion, like Muslim extremists in Nigeria and these other countries, unfortunately, do play a role. Like, I'm not trying to sound biased or anything. It's just what you see in the news. It's what's going on. Obviously, there's like good people of the Muslim faith, but there's a lot of ones that cause a lot of problems for everybody else. Oh, the Aztec video. Do I watch soccer or boxing? No, not really. People will probably be surprised, but not too surprised. I watch the NFL sometimes. What else do I watch? I watch Olympics, but not too much boxing, and not really soccer. I played soccer when I was younger. I was like a young kid. I think boxing's fun to watch, though. Wish more would focus. Wish more would put on other groups. Aztec and Inca made to show the complexity of pre-Columbian societies. Yeah, I do too. I mean, I think Ancient Americas does a really good job at doing that. He highlights a lot of cultures around the globe. Oh, globe, sorry, the Americas. From places in Peru, Brazil, Central America, and I think he just made a recent one about the Caribbean culture, I believe. So yeah, be sure to check his channel out. He makes really good content. So yeah, I think I said that we were gonna make another video with some guests this week, but unfortunately I have something going on, so I've just pushed that to next week. Do you have a hard time growing up with white people? Did you fit in with Mexicans in the USA? So I'm not sure if you were aware, but yeah, I was adopted by a white family. So I never really had a problem with it. I grew up in a really caring family. I went to a pretty white school. I mean, I went through similar issues that anyone else would. So there's good parts and bad parts. Not like terrible things, but just, did you fit in with the Mexicans in the US? To be honest, like I said, like my school was mostly white, so I didn't really get the chance to meet too many Mexicans as a kid. Mexican students. I grew up in the Midwest. In a somewhat rural place. Yeah, I haven't seen many instances of that. I guess I'd have to watch some videos and see. You probably live in a way different part of the US than I do. You've probably seen stuff. I think, to my knowledge, the Mexican government does have some issues with. Oh well, they did when the Civil War was going on in Guatemala. There's a lot of discrimination from the Mexican government, almost like treating them like animals. It's pretty disgusting. We need to continue developing, creating content collectively for the benefit of our people, and future generations. No one is getting to do the work with us. We're on our. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I try to make content when I can, but I think with more people like rising up and seeing these videos and other videos, you'll see more people out there. I think it's really caught on a lot with a lot of people, especially those from growing up from south of the U.S. border and living here. Central and South Americans are going through Mexico today are discriminated. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that would make sense. The Mexican government would not change how they treat others from different countries, especially the Central American countries. The colonial mentality that never left. I'm South American, originally felt pressure to be more Mexican. But I guess that is... Sorry, I was reading another comment. Mexican, but I guess that is how people act when they... Yeah, it's hard when you're pressured by other people. But I hope that, you're not dealing with any issues like that now. I assume you're not, so thanks for sharing that with us. Do you recommend any other channels that are similar to mine? Well, the channel that was like slightly similar to mine got taken down, fortunately, by people. I'll just say that. But yeah, I won't elaborate too much. This channel was called AIDL. They were a funny channel. But unfortunately, I think they ran into some problems and they had to put things to a close. So, we think of other channels. I mean, Ancient Americas. That's a good channel. They talk about history more so and cover different parts. They don't really cover too many political things or things what I'm covering. So we're both pretty different, but we both cover history. So yeah, I'd recommend him. And just to make sure, he's one of the channels that I have shown. Classism. Was it brown Mexicans that was saying racist things? Yeah, I'd be curious too. It's elitist, so it's not Mexicans that are more indigenous, but European descended ones. Classism. I would recommend the Red Nation podcast. Yeah, I've heard good things about them. I just don't know too much about them, but yeah, you can check them out. I mean, Decolonize Buffalo. It makes good content. Obviously, there's certain things we both don't agree on, but he makes some interesting videos, I'd say. What was I going to say? If you go on my someone who had asked me about the other channels, if you just click on home, then move to the channels tab, you'll see Ancient Americas right there. Juan, he runs a genealogy channel, but he's not too active. I think he maybe will be more active in the future. Oh, what's going on, Wolf? You're late to the party, man. Can we all call ourselves copper people? Foundational Copper Americans? What we call ourselves? The FCA? Those people are funny. I don't even know that much about them. They call themselves like FBA, right? Or something? I don't know. I don't follow them, to be honest with you. I got too much stuff going on. They sound silly. I heard, I know Radical Latino, I think, had a petition signed against them. I guess the other really good people. Let's see. COA. Confederation of America. Yeah, FCA. It's kind of interesting. Like, I'm watching this, my live from my phone from another channel. I can see two channels on here, but I don't see them on my live. One's Mr. Valencia, of course. The other one's Matthew. The French name. I don't know if you guys blocked me or what. Can't see your guys' stuff. What are your thoughts on the Eastern world? Ism that runs through the U.S. Huh? What are your thoughts on the Eastern world runs in? I'm not sure I know what you mean, infinite eight. It means runs through the U.S. Just ancient Asian concepts, or just in terms of symbolism, do they share similarities? Yeah, it's true, it's ongoing. Uh-oh. Hello. It's late for you, my Wabo friend. What are some positive things we have from colonialism? I mean, yeah, there's medicine, of course. Railways. I know the British put a lot of railways into India. Obviously, there's good things that came, but I think the bad things outweigh the good things, of course. Because there's mass murder, mass sexual assaults, all these other things that colonialism brought. Do I have a link? Yeah, I guess I could share. Horses, livestock. Yeah, but I think like Valencia said, chickens were here. They're brought by the Polynesian people. And I read that horses were here quite some time ago. But obviously, shortly before that, this Europeans arrived, there weren't horses here presently. Yeah, of course. Trade would have been better, would have been preferred. Where'd that little channel go? Get back over here. Sonic powers. See, this is one thing that I noticed is it's really crazy. I didn't bring this up with these really insane Wabo Aboriginal whatever channels. They always say that for us, south of the border, all of us are mestizos, so we're not native or mixed people. But I guarantee you, probably a majority of those Aboriginal channels are not purely Aboriginal African. Majority of African Americans contain amounts of European, native ancestry. So it's funny they call us the mestizos, though. Okay. So it's you. What? I think you got me for someone else. TCI. Our medicine. Yeah. Our medicine, we absolutely do not need anything from them. Yeah. It's true. Oh. Okay, cool story. Sonic powers. Yeah, I want to go back to this. That's true. I mean, native people had medicine too. But just in terms of like what colonization brought, I think there were some medicines that might have helped, right? But I think it's funny when like people say that, oh, the Spanish brought roads. I mean, hello, have you seen like pictures of Tenochtitlan? Did you not see roads there? It's silly. The Incan Empire had roads. Honestly, I would prefer those roads compared to the ones the Spanish made. Like the ones when I was in Antigua. Those roads hurt. Those roads hurt my feet. I forgot the name of those types of roads. Sonic Power, do you have anything else you want to share with us? You didn't like my videos, I'm assuming. For Sonic Powers, I want to know why you guys call us the Mongoloid people. Change is important for civilizations to thrive. Yeah, I mean, I think what? Yeah, I mean, engines definitely helped. I mean, engines and cars and all that thing came from Western countries. So even if it was through colonization, it did advance people, this earth. Most main highways in the U.S. for traveling routes for natives. Yeah, I believe that. We're shifting power to the Aquarian age. Exposed. The so-called Spanish did not build anything. Of the Moors. All right. Temples, all black. All brick structures. Yeah, temples, brick structures. The Incan Empire had ways of like counting, keeping information in check with the quipu. Okay. I'm just gonna kick. This is actually the Dominican Renaissance. Go away.
Real name is Joseph. Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, Marcus.
All right, what's good?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. I just want, can I talk a little bit about like the cult group the Aboriginal Wabo cult group?
Yeah, just keep it like, keep it PG. But yeah, sure.
Okay, so most of these guys, if you watch their YouTube channel, they're really hard to understand. Their English was the first language. They can't properly speak it right. It's a little bit embarrassing. It got to the point where I had to put Google Translate to understand what they're saying. But the point is this weird FBA like call group is basically stands for like Foundational Black Americans. And basically what they stand for is that they want reparations from America, but they also discriminate against, like other Africans, like Black people from Africa, and also like Latinos and Hispanics, because the thing that they pull up is that a lot of Latinos are identifying as white, a lot of Mexicans are identifying as white when they're not white, because of the whole, how the whole thing in Spain, they had the caste system and things like that. It's a lot of confusion. So their argument is this: it's like if Mexicans are dealing with a lot of self-hating issues, right, and they're identifying as white, they're also going to discriminate against us blacks, because they mention a lot of like the beef that a lot of like quote unquote like Mexican gangs have with black gangs, things like that. And basically that's what they also bring they also talk a lot about, like, Dominicans also doing like some bleach. So they're saying like if we're being Latin people or Hispanic people, right, that they're basically going to discriminate against us too. And they also talk about that Mexicans take jobs and immigrants take jobs too. So that's basically the whole group.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that much about them.
Oh yeah. Also, one thing I want to say that I'm also like I'm an animator. I do animation. So pretty soon I'm gonna make a funny joke about Dane, Calloway, and it's gonna be not PG. It's probably gonna be PG-13 or rated R, but it's gonna be pretty fun. I'll send it to you. I have a question to you.
Sure.
Me, I'm like half brown. I'm mixed with other things, but I identify myself as Indian. I'm sometimes passed for Arab or Italians, but I want to ask you: do you think it's bad as, like, let's say one of these wobbles, right? These foundational illiterate Americans, basically. That's like not just a joke around. But if they say racist jokes back, do you think it's okay to say racist jokes back, or that's just too low of a standard and more just keep it more professional? Because sometimes, it's kind of like me growing up with black people. I have black friends. We roast each other all the time, right? So if a black person says something to me, okay, one of my friends, I say something back, but we all know that it was like no harm. What's your thoughts on that? Is that something that is not good because it just ruins the conversation, or do you think that's okay?
To use like the same attacks back, you mean?
No, well, not as like calling them the N-words, not like that, but something comedic,
yeah.
like comedic. You get what I'm trying to say? Like someone call you like you know what I'm trying to say? Like nothing too horrible.
As long as it's in like good fun, like, and you're not like saying, outlandish like racist words or anything. Because we gotta learn to take jokes sometimes, right?
Yeah, we gotta learn how to take jokes. Because a lot of these like wobbles, they be like, go back to Mexico, or you guys are like the fake Indians. You guys are really Mongoloids or something like that. The arguments. Have you heard that arguments before?
I've heard that. Yeah. I've watched a few videos, or I lose brain cells when I watch those videos.
That's what I'm saying. Do you understand a lot of the words that come out of their mouth? I can't really understand the English sometimes.
It's pretty terrible what they say.
It's pretty bad. Would you say that they can pass the 12th grade reading level test? Yes or no?
I wouldn't be surprised if they couldn't pass the freshman level.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of these guys, a lot of the black community, they have a lot of like self-hatred issues, like between like light skin and dark skin, again, because of like communism and things like that. So a lot of them, it's mostly that their grandma tells them that their great-great-grandfather is Cherokee, so they think they're Indian. So it's kind of passed down by the grandmother.
They associate the Cherokee as being African.
I know, when it's not the case.
It's crazy stuff, man.
Do you know what a lot of people are just confused, and since a lot of them are uneducated, you can tell by the way they speak. I'm sorry, you can really tell, but it's a really sad thing though.
I mean, it's just like you see all the swear words they use in their videos, and just how they degrade people. Like I was just watching their video where they're like trash talking this woman from the Dominicans, and she was like trying to explain that, like, hey, you people that are like using this like Afrocentric like propaganda and whatnot, like, you shouldn't do that. And they just like commented on like her teeth and her appearance and her body and everything. It was like really nasty.
Because I'm planning really to go in on Dan Calloway. He's a little bit fat. Do you think I should get away from? Because I'm gonna make a little bit racist jokes. Again, nothing too bad. Like, again, I'm not racist, but I'm also gonna go in his weight. Do you think that's a bad thing?
I mean,
I know you. I know
If you
you're
wanna
built
call
different. I was born in the streets. You were born. Where were you born?
I was born in the Midwest in a
See,
really, like,
suburbs.
rural area. Like,
Oh,
not too rural, but, like,
like
just I think a different place, and
like
you and I
trailer
both
park,
came from different places.
trailer park area.
Huh?
Like a trailer park area.
Not trailer park, just out, like, farmland. Like,
Mm,
house in the middle of nowhere.
mm. Oh, okay.
But
Because I was born like in the ghettos, not anymore. I'm in the city now, but you know, it was like really no holds barred when it came to jokes. So I just want to know when you see. I don't want you to get the wrong impression. You know what I'm saying about me.
sure. No, you're good.
All right. Have a good day, man. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Wasn't expecting anyone on tonight. Well, thanks, Marcus, for coming on. There's some people here who aren't being nice to us. Where are you at? Brian G, you don't understand the struggle. He said something else. Most of y'all think y'all Spanish. I don't remember thinking I was Spanish. Yeah, Marcus was cool. Whoa, hey. This is not the channel for Dane Calloway supporters. Why are you coming on here? No one in this group really supports Dane, so what are you trying to do? You're trying to change people's minds? I think Dane Calloway is a very dangerous person. I think his channel should be censored, if you want my honest opinion. Mexican, Native Americans, and blacks are the true Israelites. I'm not for that Hebrew Israelite stuff. Well, you heard it here, folks. Brian said Dane Calloway is the truth. Let him know what your opinions are. Brian, you gotta follow people that you think these YouTubers, how would you call them, these influencers. You gotta follow different influencers, man. Hey, come on, man, it's 2,000 subscribers, not one. Be consistent, Brian. Yeah, it's so stupid. Like, so many people, especially like those Aboriginal channels, are like, yeah, them Spanish people. I'm like, oh, come on. Why do you keep calling them? Whatever. What if I call them English people? Because they speak English. Who's Dane Calloway? He's just a guy that promotes native erasure, and he has a big following. Would someone say you have a lisp? I was talking about the Aboriginal people. I was trying to imitate them. Well, actually, just the Aboriginal TV guy. Given that most cities I see. Any thoughts? Yeah, I mean, that would be really helpful. More native people living in big cities. I know, like, there's some Native American universities out there. But in terms of like preschool to higher level of learning, I have to do some more research. Brian, why you gotta be so mean to people? Do I need to kick you? Brian, you do look pretty English, man. Looks like a potato. Yeah, I mean, they say these things that they call us like Mongoloids and keep on like trying to degrade us, calling us mestizos. So they're trying to be like racist and like mean. So I think it shows the people in here just how these people are. Like, look at how they insult us, right? What I'm doing with my videos is I'm exposing this, and they want to bite the bait, come into my channel, come into my live stream here, and now we get to see their behavior right here. This is how that a lot of them are, most of them are in those channels. Support this type of behavior. All right, y'all can click type number 1 here if you want the sonic powers out. Just type 1 in the live stream. Sonic, I don't think this really matters at this point. I'm waiting for someone to enter 1. I mean, it's my channel, right? So I think I'm free to do what I want. Oh, did he give himself 1? No one, I guess you guys want him in here. I mean, I think Dane Calloway needs to be. Where'd you go? Comic code. I think when you spread dangerous rhetoric, then you deserve to be silenced. Obviously, what you're saying is minimal. I don't care, to be honest. But it's your friends with a big following that really need to be cut. And I believe they will be cut within time. You know, Andre, I want to invite him to the stream, but I don't know. What time is it? 10:46. I'm really careful with like certain language that's put on the channel because I do like to come off as like somewhat professional. And a lot of those channels, like as I said, their choice of wording is really horned, really nasty. And I want the good people of this YouTube channel to have to listen to that. So I guess we'll ban them. All right, where are you at? Actually, you know what? I'll just kick him. All right, everybody. Tell Brian goodbye. Okay, Brian's gone. Brian's gone for now. I'm sure he's having a safe trip back to Aboriginal TV world. Okay, look, I blocked your friend. Now it's just you. So what are you just coming in here to troll? I really want to know what like runs through your guys' minds. He's a fan? So don't block him, or I'll leave him on. I need the comments. Okay. This guy's crazy. Right? That's what I'm saying. People are like taking their time to like type this out, which is always funny. Should we choose some different music up here? Okay, I don't know who that is. I don't think anyone here knows who that is. To be honest, I don't think anyone cares. I'm assuming he spreads propaganda. Oh, I'm sure he was told by his friends to come on. I told you Aboriginal TV shared 2 of my videos. So I appreciate giving me some views. Helped out. All right, that sounds fair enough. Where have you been? I've hoped to make a travel video of like places where I've gone and like my favorite cities I've been to. Where have I gone? I've been to China, Philippines, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand. I've been to Sri Lanka. I've been to UAE. I've been to the UK, Georgia, and Peru, Guatemala, Mexico, and Colombia. So yeah, been to a fair amount of places. Been fortunate to be able to travel around. Yeah, a lot of people in Asia always confuse me as one of their own. It's actually funny. I don't know if I ever shared this story with you guys. I was in Thailand one time, and we were going. Me and my Thai friend, were going to this like temple area, and the government had like places you had to pay to get in, and one area, one office was for like Thai people, and the other one was for like foreigners, and my friend, I managed to blend in, sneak in with the Thai people, and you didn't have to pay. Thai people didn't have to pay, so they saved money not having to pay. I mean, is it moral? It saved me $5, so okay. Okay, yeah. It's 10:52, so I'll give this stream maybe 8 more minutes and hopefully all things off. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, there was a Wabo named Brian who was calling us mestizos and mongoloids and whatnot. The same rhetoric and stuff that those weird pseudo channels promote. I kicked him. Yeah, I'm sure it would happen to you too. You and me both. Sionic, do you have anything relevant or important to say? Speak now or forever hold your peace. There's a lot of people that agree with detribalized native, don't like reconnecting native, or what's the other one? Reconnected, detribalized. Hold on 1 second. I'll answer you. Aren't you the guy that pops up on Radical Latinos channel? Man, I thought you were a moderate person. Are you those type of people where if I tell someone that happens to be a person of color to shut up, you'll be like, that's racist? stand those people. Did you like I'm okay with the term tribalized native. Some people want to call us like what, brown or copper. It feels like not everyone agrees on a certain term, but it seems that a lot of people have just ran with reconnecting native. But my thing is that, like, there's a lot of us that can't ever connect with the tribe, unfortunately, especially adoptees. So are we just connecting, I guess, with our identity? I mean, that makes sense. I think that's fair because our identity, like I've said earlier, has been suppressed for centuries. So we're connecting with the side of us that I think has been the most suppressed. Marquise, do you have anything to say besides that? Come on, man. Keep it interesting. Don't tell me that was your friend, was it? That I took out? The guy that was calling us racist names? Calling us Mongoloids? Is that your buddy? You better choose friends wisely if I were you. I forgot Daniel's still here. Did Mushroom Head ask me, have you ever watched the Rod Show? No, I haven't. Why are there people that showing up in this stream and not here? Yo mama. Sorry, I'm gonna use a yo mama joke. Probably. I think I've seen that account before, and it's not the same person that appears on Radical Tino's channel. It's probably like a troll account. You know what, Sonic? Well, I don't know. Maybe you're like a foul-mouthed individual. I don't want you on my channel if you are. But I am tempted to drop the link. But you're probably too chicken to get on. Can you answer my question, Sonic? If you call us people, Mongoloids, calling us mixed mestizos, you know that majority of those people that follow the Aboriginal TV aren't purely African. So what are they? Come on, answer my question. Here's an answer. Okay, cool. Expose me. Come on, do it. Expose me right now in front of 27 people. Come on. He's the one to expose me, I guess. Oh, there he is. He's back. Marquise, I'm going to leave a comment on your account, Radical Latinos videos, because I see that you comment on there, and I'm going to ask if you're the same person that's leaving these insane comments. I don't think so. I think you're a big troll. You're the second person that said that. Someone else said that this the other music I was playing sounded like another video game. I don't know. Oh, Aunt, you're back. We're just messing with Wappos right now. There's like 2 of them here. I kicked out the other one because he was being racist. Yeah, I mean, this was essentially the other part. I think I've said what I've wanted to say about these particular people, and I gotta move on to better things. I appreciate the suggestion. Though. Godzilla. Okay, so are you the guy that goes on Radical Latino's channel? Where's Radical at? What? Marquise, isn't there a current document right now that's for signatures against the FBA, which you claim to be a part of? Isn't there a form? Now this sounds like RuneScape music. I don't know if y'all know RuneScape. I'm sure some of you are like close to my age. Okay, so Marquise is a troll. Okay, cool. Yeah, but for a wrap up, hope you guys enjoyed the banners that I made. Not made. I found the overlays, I should say. I tried to be funny a little bit in the crazy things these guys were saying. You ask if I still play RuneScape? No. I stopped playing that in like 8th grade. Just the music sounded somewhat similar. I don't know how the heck I remember that. Sometimes we remember it like really odd things or younger years. Sonic, that's you on the right. On the left is my pet dog. Oh, I remember what I wanted to bring up. Okay, one last thing. I think these crazy people. This picture is like people Papua New Guinea, and yeah, I mean, they do. I guess they would be considered, I don't know, not African people. They wouldn't call themselves African people, though. These people are, I think, of the Solomon Islands. But I think the Wapos, the Aboriginal people, just assume that these guys are like straight up African and like they're the original people of this earth. So I don't know. I think maybe they get the crazy rhetoric from when they see these pictures of people on the other side of the world and they happen to have like similar phenotypes. Yeah, he is. I mean, what do you think, Godzilla? Do you think FBA is a hate group or no? Yeah, that would help. I don't think I can do that right now, but definitely for the next slide. I don't think I can make you one. Take care of them. While I'm like operating the stream. Just going through the comments. going on, Sylvia? Yeah, but to answer that guy's question, I don't play RuneScape. I feel like when you get into your 20s, like, stop playing games even more. You just got other things going on in life. I mean, shoot, I don't even watch TV. I can't even have cable. I just watch sports when I can. I just get all my news and everything else off my phone. Saves money. I mean, I watch sports elsewhere on my place. The deeper you dig, the more black you find. Cool story, bro. Look up the original sand people of China. Oh, are you going to tell me that that it wasn't the Han Chinese that built everything in Beijing and Shanghai? Come on, man. Maybe you came here to get your mind changed. I hope I've at least made an attempt to persuade you. Hey, well, Marquise, why do you guys say that about Radical? I wouldn't compare him to that other person. No, FBA is not a hate group, but they do have heavy criticizing other groups. Points. All right, I'll keep them around. Yeah, you're right. I think I've made my points that I wanted to these past two lives. So as I told everyone earlier, I've got to move on to better things for future content, I mean. Scrolling through comments. This is my response to this comment. Yeah, good question, Ann. Hey, thanks for the question, Sylvia. Originally I had two people planned to come on this week, but I think it might have to be pushed to next week. Some things going on. I'll let you guys know more information as the time comes. But time is it? It's like 11:07 here. So I think I'm gonna wrap things up. Unless you guys had any other questions. We're good? All right. Well, guys, as always, it's been fun interacting with you. I hope you've enjoyed the content I provided tonight. If you have any questions, be sure to leave comments. I'll try to answer them, get back to them. And if you haven't liked the channel, please do. Watch the banner. Yeah, guys, as always, appreciate it when you guys tune in. Oh, yeah? Okay. Let's talk about it, Sylvia. My email's in my bio. Just shoot me a message. Shoot me an email. Happy to talk talk more about it. Hey, thanks, Anders. You have a good night too. Glad you guys enjoyed. All right, yeah, supporters, crazy dudes, everyone else, y'all have a good night. Adios. Goodbye. Thanks, J. Money.